Here we go. Okay, so there's a lot that I can talk about this mono blue deck, as I'm. So the reasoning behind this hero lineup is you generally want to deploy Kana later down the line. That's one of the differences between this matchup right here, between these two decks. We see Lumi, aka White Dragon, lead off with Kana, while the mono blue deck has her as the 4th hero, aka the turn 2 deployment. Turn 1 Ignite onto the Kana lane will slow it down significantly, and we see a Compel there to prevent that creep from damaging Ogre Magi. Very fast turn 1, and pretty solid, you know.
And Ignite going to get guaranteed value against the Kana lane because the creeps are guaranteed to go into that lane. Sometimes you don't know if you're going to go full value or not playing it turn 1, but in this case, it's obvious that Ignite will rack up the points and the value over time.
And this is one of the things when you utilize mono blue and you face the likes of blue-green, you want to contest Kana's lane with your own Kana. So him setting up the Ignite not only slows down, you know, Kana's creep generation here, but it also empowers your prey on the weak. We see at any cost there, which Melo is running as a 2-off in this build, which is a very powerful counter to Storm to a Storm strategy here. He could even proc it now, but it would kill off his own Luna, so it's not too recommendable. One of the things that this deck has, mono blue has, over, for example, blue-green, is very powerful removal to stall out until a late game to use Bolt of Damocles as a win condition. You start off initially with the Annihilations, and then once the Eclipse has been built up, it's an even more powerful Annihilation that doesn't happen to hit your board, right? Eclipse is very strong if your Luna sticks on the board and you know, gets enough charges going on to it. As we see a D portal, Dimensional Portal in lane 2, casted by Ogre Magi. Ogre Magi, you happy about how I pronounce that? You know,
I'm very happy.
I'm so...
Swim did a terrible job, but it is Ogre Magi. It is not Abaddon, but we're going to say Abaddon anyway. And some of these names are confusing. You know, it could depend where you live, what language you speak. Could be a different pronunciation, but Ogre Magi, I think, is correct universally.
We see Melo lose Zeus down against Ogre Magi right there, but he does preserve initiative for lane 1. The thing about mono blue and blue green as well is that they don't really have their high impact plays until turn 4, in which they have 6 mana. 6 mana is the ultimate turning point for the mono blue deck, as even though he has preserved initiative, it's not like you'll be able to punish White Dragon here, Lumi, who is using a different account, I guess, in this particular turn.
I mean, his avatar is a White Dragon, I believe, so it does make some sense. The lore checks out. But Crystal Maiden, also a hero that we didn't expect to see ever. I mean, not just this tournament, in the history of Artifact. I think many players consider her to be one of the worst or you know, less strong heroes in Artifact. And at any cost coming down, huge kill.
That's very well timed here by Melo. This could have been a very scary turn from Lumi. Agony Sanctum into double stars align can lead to an incarnation of Salamene, just blowout, but he can repeat the process in lane 2, so Melo needs to be very, very careful here as he does set up his own Agony Sanctum. He's able to do this play thanks to Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden is this hero right here. Her reactive ability is very powerful. After the first time an allied spell is played on each lane, you restore 2 mana to the tower in that lane, so she enables you to chain spells and plays in general far better than you originally would, at the expense of running what many call almost a melee creep, a glorified melee creep. But
and in mono blue, because some of these very impactful spells are so cheap, like we saw there with Agony Sanctum and the at any cost at only 3 mana, you're able to take full advantage of those plays, of that refresh, the 2 mana refresh. Whereas in a different deck like red green, you only have like maybe Bronze Legionnaires as a small spell to cast. So it works very well in mono blue specifically.
Now we're gonna see. We may see a potential. Okay. So Lumi here had the ability to play double stars align and try to set up an incarnation of Salamene, but opted not to. Instead, just sets up the Agony Sanctum and takes a more passive approach towards that. Cunning plan right there is just gonna be enable Lumi right here to cycle through his deck. Not really gonna save the Ogre Magi, as even when 2 units alter their positioning, the arrows are still the same, basically, as 11 gold for Lumi, but 21 for Melo, and he gets his hands on a Class Dream Hourglass.
Both players get the Hourglass, and the Hourglass is huge in stopping the top decks and the cycling from so many cards like Compel, Arcane Assault, foresight, especially with Sanctum. You kind of refresh your mana to be able to draw cards and play all these cards later on, because you do need a lot of card advantage when you're playing Stars Align and these cycle cards. And Sailor Mania, of course.
I do believe Hourglass is more impactful towards blue-green, as it is very efficient at slowing down an Incarnation of Salamene combo. It just completely shuts it down, actually, as you deny a card draw there completely.
And there's the Bolt. The Hourglass was not equipped just yet, so the Bolt is free, and that is going to be a win condition.
Yep.
4 turns from now, we may see Bolt sealing the deal. It's not going to be an Annihilation coming down.
Powerful Annihilation here for Melo.
This is what he needs to do, just stall it out, stall, stall, stall. 3 heroes coming online next turn for Lumi, but still.
And there's the Hourglass. And that Annihilation prevented Lumi from playing his own Hourglass, so that stalls it out even one more turn. Very impactful right here. This match is pretty high paced. Both players playing rather quickly. This is like the opposite of what we saw.
I think they saw Reynad's game and decided that that's not going to be their lose condition. They're going to play quickly, even though it is a very skill testing deck list from both players. Have to really think it through. Sanctum coming in the range row, in the lane 2, and
Range row.
that was a very big mental slip up, but it indicates that Melo is going to go back into that lane. He annihilated, but he's still going to focus on that lane and kind of contest every single lane, I think.
Which is what you have to do, especially in this matchup. Even though he's going to send Luna, maybe he's baiting Lumi perhaps to commit to that second lane, as he does want to deploy Luna onto the first. Big deployment phase for Lumi, though. He has Kana, Ogre Magi, and Drow, and it seems like he is going to prioritize lane 2.
I think this
see
is fine, though,
here.
I think, yeah. I mean, you might see Annihilation coming in next turn from Kana or Ogre Magi into the second lane, and he's going to let Lumi develop this lane 2 right now, but then stop it before he can actually get the kill on the tower, which I think is going to be huge as well.
I don't know if he can stop it, though. He has double Stars Align and Incarnation of Salamene. I think if Melo deploys Luna on this first lane, he's going to be wide open for this lane.
There is a Blink Dagger in hand, though, for Melo, so he has the chance to get one of these unless...
There's no Gust. There's no Gust right now. Like, Gust would stop this because he does have the Agony Sanctum set up right there. But the problem is, if we see Annihilation here, he can't stop this. I would not be surprised to see Annihilation from Lumi here, capitalizing on his initiative.
Especially if he sees the Blink Dagger, I think it'll be the big call
there
right
it
away.
Is. There it is. I think Melo may have misplayed developing that, especially considering he lost initiative right there. Placing that Luna in the first lane left him wide open for that removal.
Maybe expecting Lumi to also go first lane and focus first lane instead and try and fight for it. This is going to be Solitaire from Lumi, able to develop his entire game plan, but the Hourglass will stop a lot of the card draw.
Yeah, this is big. This is big. I think the problem is Hourglass does stop this, but that Diabolic Revelation will enable lethal, as Prey on the Weak will have 5 different targets, and then he'll be able to drop Emissary of the Quorum. We're going to see just absolute madness here from Lumi. This is the power of the one-turn kill Salamene combo deck. Incarnation of Salamene enables him to play every card in his hand without having to worry about mana, and this is an easy one-turn kill onto this tower. And it's going to warrant an Annihilation from Melo the next turn to prevent the Ancient from sharing the same demise. But we do see Arcane Assault. We see Arcane Assault from Lumi right here. No Gust, though.
And any cards that are drawn next turn, Crystal Maiden will be alive for next turn, so they will be locked as well. So what he has in hand is what he's going to have next turn to try and combat that Annihilation coming down. But if we don't see a direct kill potential on one of these blue heroes like Kana or Ogre Magi, Annihilation will come down, and no cheating death for Lumi in this deck is gonna be able to seal the deal here in lane 2.
You do cunning plan here, though. You want to thin no Gust. He needs Gust right now. If Lumi manages to get Gust, he will win this game, but he does not get Gust. The thing is, it's gonna warrant like an Annihilation from Melo and also one of his 2 blue heroes, potentially Ogre Magi, as Kana is obviously more resilient and impactful as Lumi. There's the Gust.
There's the Gust, and there was no Arcane Assault played though from.
Yeah, so he can't. Well, he can still obtain it here. Oh, that Gust may just win in the game. I think that Gust seals it as long as he preserves Arcane Assault for that lane. Oh, the fact that he do that Gust at the end there with the Unearthed Secrets, that is probably game winning for Lumi right there, as the Hourglass has been played, so even if Melo does run his own Arcane Assault, he cannot play this turn. I think that's it, unless Lumi slips up here, but Lumi has the ability to proc initiative and the Gust. This is over.
Thunder God's Wrath will not kill the Ogre Magi, will not kill the Drow Ranger either, so there isn't a chance for kill potential from that, first lane with the Ogre Magi. And yeah, this is looking tough for Melo. I think maybe the fact he didn't play anything into lane 2 the last turn might, really punish him. The Stars Align and the Sanctum combo was able to put the Celemania on the board, and then after that, it was just really Artifact Solitaire from Lumi.
Yeah, there it is. There's the Arcane Assault, and that's GG. This is what I was talking about. This is the threat that blue-green opposes towards mono-blue. The Gust can just deny your play. The fact that he's getting initiative. Now Melo has to think about, okay, so Melo does have double Thunder God's Wrath, but that is just not enough to deny this. That's not enough to, wipe this board. He can't really, he has Eclipse. He has to go for Thunder God's Wrath, but double Thunder God's Wrath will not be enough here. Oh, that just feels really devastating. Is there anything, if there's anything Melo can do to stop this?
You can clear out the first lane, take control of that. But he won't get lethal this turn on this first lane. He was very healthy.
Yeah, there's just nothing he can do here. There's just nothing. The Gust is gonna go down. He's just banking on his opponent not having Gust here, but Gust is gonna go down, and this is over.
It's gonna be, with a Sanctum as well. The Celemania, obviously you can play out all your cards. Every card that was drawn last turn can be played this turn, so Prey on the Weak gonna be open there. Emissary obviously going to do a lot of damage here.
Does he have lethal on him though? Because he needs quite a bit of damage, but this Prey on the Weak is very powerful. But he basically only has Prey on the Weak.
I think he has to have it. Yeah, with Emissary buff as well. That's going to be
easy lethal, right?
Yeah, that's easy lethal.
There's
lethal so many units on this lane. It goes so wide here. You can play every single card he has, but just Thunder God's Wrath for the extra. Maybe not BM, but definitely second Thunder God's Wrath. Will the multicast just clearing out the board just in case, getting some extra gold and solidifying his position.
Some extra gold, yeah. This is, and that's it. That's it. Back. Oh my God. Okay,
the double multicast.
That's kind of disgusting.
I mean, he did get some extra damage on the tower with Kana dying there, so maybe it was just trying to guarantee the win here. But I think Emissary, I think he'll do it. Maybe a bit overkill.
Yeah, but this is what I was talking about. Gust is the big win condition here, and the fact that he was able to get it alongside Arcane Assault really.
Putting in resources to lane 2, but in the end didn't work out for Melo and does end up losing that game. I think because of that, exactly that turn was the turning factor.
I think one of the things to keep in mind when playing mono blue is that you always need to have some sort of presence in all 3 lanes because of you have access to Annihilation, and especially against this sort of deck. All it takes is for them to focus on one lane, one-shot you there, and then threaten you with a turn 2 kill onto your Ancient there. It's just all they need. So. I think Melo definitely has to take that into consideration as we see a turn 1 Ignite onto Kana's lane there from Lumi. Very strong here. Very strong opening in general, as Melo does have at any cost in hand, which can be very strong and slow down Lumi here, but it's really going to come down to Melo having some sort of presence in every single lane to try to stop the crazy burst that this blue-green deck can have.
And very strong opening from Lumi. 2 great improvements in Ignite being played to the right, so it gets the full value this first turn as well.
Yeah.
And the Under Seekers as well being played to the left. Not getting the value this turn, but still a great improvement to have when you have to rely on getting this great card draw and cards like Stars Align and the full combo to get into that Celemania ramp early on.
Mm-hmm. We're going to see, again, Melo contest this first lane by developing his own Kana there, but he's going to have a tough turn here as Lumi is debating whether to go to lane 1 or 2 with Drow, opts to choose lane 2 to support his Kana right there with some green presence to be able to cast green spells as well. As that's the thing, you generally want to contest that lane with your own Kana. You do have it at any cost. Kana is a very good hero to apply at any cost with, and there is the Agony Sanctum on lane 1 for Melo.
We do find see Conflagration as well coming into Melo's hand. He didn't find it last game, and that would be huge, obviously, against stopping the AoE from the Prey on the Weak, from all the the melee creeps from Kana as well. So a big card to draw, I think, this turn, and maybe something that Melo was missing in the mid game last game.
Yeah, definitely. This card is really strong in this matchup. You can, especially like cast it from the first lane with that Agony Sanctum and still not lose momentum doing so. That's one of the downsides of Conflagration, right? Even if you play it on curve, but that Sanctum kind of mitigates that. And we are going to see a Frostbite.
And this sets up could have set up the at any cost, but it wasn't enough mana. Didn't get the refresh.
But it does set it up for next turn, potentially. And It does not set up the conflagration, though, but I think we're definitely going to see a conflagration from the first lane from Melo here. The question is, where will he place it? And I think it's very highly likely that it will go onto lane 2.
It looks like the Unearthed Secrets is going to get a lot of value already in lane 1. That's a very wide board so early on. Ogre Magi doing his thing with a ton of melee creeps, kind of maybe a kind of cosplay there as well, with so many melee creeps in the first lane. But taking control of this lane is really important. Zeus coming here, piercing damage will help clear out the board a tiny bit. Is a bit of a mini AoE ability as well. And
Down
Ignite,
goes the
is not a mini AoE. I think it's a big AoE.
It's a big boy AoE for sure. Oh, look at that, though. That D-Magic Maul.
It's going to do work every single turn that Crystal Maiden is unlocked.
Yeah.
Unblocked.
And it does hit the Unearthed Secrets. And now Melo has a lot of room here. He can actually potentially Cunning Plan for free because of Crystal Maiden. So he can thin through his deck for free there, and also multicast that Cunning Plan. Now he goes for the conflagration onto the second lane, and we may just see him go perhaps for some more thinning or set up another Sanctum. He has options here. This is one of the things. I like this. I like this play. I like this setup. I do. Thinning is not as immediately necessary. He has to worry about a potential annihilation on that first lane next turn, though. So preserving initiative could be important here. Prey on the Weak is enabled, but we do see at any cost in Melo's hand. So if Lumi does go for, he does not go for it. He's going to pass and scout out what Melo does. We could see a pass here from Melo as well. I mean, is there a reason not to pass here? Well, I mean, barring, thinning through your deck with Cunning Plan, but is there a reason to commit to this lane at this point?
I think the more you solid, the better. I think conflagration is going to be there, for the rest of the game. It's not like March of the Machine. You're going to get full value from that.
Yeah, you pass here. This is great for Melo. He also gets the upkeep kill on the Drow, which is not the greatest thing in the world because that means that Drow's continuing effects will be applied on lane 1. But Melo does have initiative in lane 1, which means that he can Eclipse and potentially knock out Zeus if Lumi does want to go for an annihilation on that lane.
And Treant has the armor ability, helping out his allied neighbors, but unfortunately he's not in the lane that has the conflagration ticking. He's in lane 3 instead, so the armor not coming in clutch in that lane 2 to block some damage from conflagration.
There's the Hourglass. There's
very
the Hourglass.
important item.
Not from Melo does not obtain it himself, though, and that's a very big deal here. Okay, I think we're going to see Eclipse. I think we're definitely going to see Eclipse to deny the annihilation and ensure the the kill onto this tower. That's one of the things of Eclipse is such a solid removal tool, even this early on, even on curve, because Lumi has, because that's the thing, you either commit 2 blue heroes to ensure that you get the annihilation here, or you become vulnerable to this, and I definitely expect the Eclipse to go down here, knock out Zeus, deny annihilation, and ensure that kill. And now he has also a free board state. Oh, and knocking out the Unearthed Secrets.
And a 2-mana refresh for the Cunning Plan to cycle as well. So great plays coming out from Melo.
This is so clean.
It's really working out for him here.
This is why I love this deck, especially with Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden just enables you to tempo so hard and thin so well. And this is one of the things when I was talking about this deck with Melo, he's like, I just love drawing so much.
And the Ignite possibly going into lane 2 just to help that out even more, take full control over that lane as well. And even more cycle cards in hand. Arcane Assault and Compel, both drawing cards, being able to cycle into cards like Annihilation, Eclipse, or Bolt of Damocles for the end of the game to really impact, the finish.
I think that and a Compel to thin even more is what we're going to see here from Melo. There's the Compel, going to get another Sanctum right there.
And I think Sanctum is not talked about enough. I think that card is insane.
It's nuts.
The fact that
Absolutely
you can play it and the same turn refresh the mana, I think that should not be a possibility because it just seems too strong for me, really. It's a very, very strong card, and
but looking at look for example at Red and how powerful their immediate impact cards are. I think in order to justify the fact that blue heroes are so understated, you do need cards like Aghaning Sanctum. You do need blue to be able to kind of abuse a bit that power. As we are going to see a Thunder God's Wrath. Gonna do some big damage here.
No Sanctum, so it can't be played again, even if there was a multicast. There is one in hand for Bloomy, but cannot kill the Ogre lane 1, cannot kill the Kana lane 2, so still a lot of control here for Melo. Only needs to get that second tower down right now, and he has a lot of assistance from 2 Sanctums, an Ignite, and a Conflagration.
There is the Hourglass for Melo as well. This Hourglass is gonna be very impactful for Lumi. Lumi gonna prioritize lane 1 over lane 2. This leaves him wide open. I am not sure about this play. I guess he may opt to Blink Dagger.
But that gives up initiative. If an Eclipse is drawn, with the lucky hits on Kana, it could be a
No,
kill.
Hourglass denies any draws this
That
turn.
is true. That is true.
Hourglass does slow him down. So, I mean, Lumi doesn't know this, right? But Lumi does not, Melo does not have an answer to a blink. Even though he loses initiative, there's not much he can do about it. We do see Annihilation in his hand, and we do see a pass from Mel right there. Agony Samson going down on the first lane. We may very well see a Prey on the Weak here to threaten this board state. And there is a cunning plan from Melo.
Or from Lumi.
Oh, sorry, from Lumi.
It's very confusing because sometimes
that's true.
it seems like it's saving the Ogre, so it looks like it's Melo's play, but it is Lumi drawing the cards there. And he gets 3 Gusts in hand, so he really, that's one of the things that running green, Gus is one of the big power plays that you can have alongside Drow. And there we go, Diabolic Revelation, thinning even more, drawing even more cards. So this deck is all about cycling and trying to draw your combo. Still not enough ramp to get the Silly online, and also no Silly in hand.
The question is, do you go for Annihilation here if you're Melo, if things get out of hand, especially if you see this Prey on the Weak? Or just, I mean, instead of Annihilation, you could go for any cost, but any cost would not stop the Blink Dagger play potentially. That's the thing, you know, that Melo has to watch out for, right? Like, he has a strong chance to capitalize on this lane, even though he doesn't really have any sort of, like, he doesn't have Prey on the Weak nor Dimensional Portal, but he can push some damage. And with this deck, all you need to do is bring the tower down to at least 20 health and try to survive till the turn in which you kill them with both of Damocles. Obviously, staying alive is easier said than done, but I like how Lumi is playing here.
Double Ignite coming down as well in lane 2.
It's strong. That's very strong. And the Foresight. Okay, Lumi not pulling the trigger just yet.
And there's a Stars Align as well, so a little bit of ramp available now for Lumi. Nothing to finish it off with, no Silly.
Okay, is he going to blink there? He is going to blink to that lane. Strong setup there by Lumi here. This double Ignite enables him to wipe out Kana, and this really slows down Melo. Melo does not really have many options. We may just see...
Now, the Annihilation here would also stop the Hourglass for the next turn, and that is huge. I mean, I think it's undervalued how important Hourglass is in stopping your opponent. If Lumi wants to draw Suleimani next turn, and the Hourglass is available, he cannot do that. He'll have to wait a turn after to unlock that card. So maybe just the Hourglass makes it worth it for the Annihilation even more.
I mean, he can always go for at any cost if Lumi opts to go for the Prey on the Weak. The problem is if you Prey on the Weak in this lane,
it's only for this turn.
It's only for this turn. That's the thing.
All you're doing is protecting your tower.
Okay, so he's going for the initiative play here. He's going to play Arcane Assault, and we do see Arcane Assault in Melo's hand this time around, though, so he can counter that with his own.
And now taking this damage is extremely important, because the closer you get to 20, it makes it so that once you have initiative and you get to 10 mana, you can win the game instantly with a spell from Melo with the Bolt of Damocles.
Yeah, he's going for that. He wants to set up that Annihilation on the third lane. Powerful counter there for Melo, having Arcane Assault available this time. And you gotta get rid of Hourglass as well, which is so key in this matchup. Really interesting turn. I do love how Lumi set up that first lane, though. Like, he played Kana there, and he set up the Agony Sanctum, the Ignite onto the second lane to wipe out that Kana, and threatened with retaining initiative back after all that to prevent Annihilation on the third. But Melo did have the counter this time around, and here we go, folks. This game is...
These are the important turns now.
Yeah,
these next 3 turns are extremely important. Obviously going to be probably signify the end of the game once we get to 10 mana, and Bolt is available. Hourglass, locking cards here, but Thunder God's Wrath will come down and do a lot of damage.
Nasty, though. He can potentially... Does he have another one? Oh, my lord. Look at that board wipe, though. But we do not see... Yeah, he can't... this Hourglass saving him. This Hourglass saving Melo from imminent demise right there. Luna still alive on this lane. No way to retain initiative. We do see Eclipse from Melo. There's a Sanctum here. Melo could try to push for lethal. Is lethal possible? There's so many damage units, but this double Ignite is going to wipe out his board, so it's going to take a lot of power from a potential Prey on the Weak.
I think you have to Eclipse first, right? Just to be able to block the Kana and try and get the kill there.
You have to.
And again, just 2 ticks on the Kana from the Eclipse will do it, so definitely more than enough. I think Luna has been... there's going to be about 5 to 6 charges on the Eclipse now, so more than enough to clear the board. Initiative also in the side of Melo, so he has a chance to play this and block up any plays from Lumi this turn. But I do not think he has the power to take this down all the way just now. Prey on the Weak can spawn one Hound, which might be important to get the tower under 20 health for the Bolt that'll come later on, and Dimensional Portal is also available.
He still needs to survive 2 more turns, though. He needs to survive next turn, and the next one he needs to survive on that first lane to ensure that he can get the Bolt of Damocles kill on this lane. So Melo can just proceed to try to stall with those at any cost there.
The Blink Dagger will also do it to get this down to 20 HP.
I believe he's going to de-portal heal and potentially Foresight. Yep, to draw more cards here before...
double Bolt in hand.
Double Bolt.
Second Foresight as well to continue cycling.
This is nutty. This is so strong. Unfortunately,
no Annihilation, though. That might be a key that you might need to kind of shut down the Salamene lane once it's played. Might be the lane 1 as well.
Let's see here. Let's see if he's able. Like, we do see Gust. We see Gust, but we do not see Incarnation of Salamene, which means that because of this Hourglass, he is slowing down Lumi. This Hourglass is what's keeping him alive, basically.
And no other heroes on board for Melo this turn because of the Thunder God's Wrath, so the second Hourglass can be played. Second Hourglass is devastating. It shuts down your game plan completely, having to wait 2 more turns.
Yes.
2 more turns that Lumi cannot wait because Bolt will be online the next turn after this one. So this is the turn, I think, for Lumi. I think
Lumi has to take the game here.
It's do or die.
Yeah, exactly. Lumi has to take the game here this turn, or on the beginning of the next one. That's how he wins. Otherwise, Bolt of Damocles will finish off this lane no matter what, unless he's able to somehow get initiative on this lane and annihilate and prevent the Bolt. Because the thing is, Bolt of Damocles is a very powerful card when it has a surprise factor going for it. But when you expect it,
you can play around it much better.
Exactly.
And just keeping initiative becomes imperative in this matchup.
Exactly. And Lumi is a very high-level player. He knows very well what he's doing, and he's not going to play into Bolt of Damocles, easily. He's not going to give the win to Melo by any means here. Okay, there we go.
At any cost here is huge.
Yeah.
It will clear the board and leave only Khan alive and take control over this first lane, which could be very important.
But Gust is definitely going to go down.
That's also true.
I think Gust, yeah.
With Sanctum, you can kind of use 4 mana and still have very powerful plays because that Gust comes down and stops your opponent completely.
He's still going to play down that Hourglass, completely denying any sort of combo potential here. He does have a Prey on the Weak, a Rosely Druid, and an Emissary of the Corn, but that's all Lumi has to push this turn.
And any amount of cycling here will get double locked because Zeus is still alive and Luna is still alive. So all of this will be in vain if
Oh, that curve, but the question is, he cannot kill him, right?
Like the Emissary will come down once the
okay.
the Emissary is going to come down once the Sanctum refreshes the mana. Going to be up to 13 mana. Emissary is unlocked. It was drawn last turn. It's still in hand here for Lumi.
The question is this lethal here? Onto this tower, I believe, no, I believe he's missing out by a little bit, right? Maybe, okay, so he has 8 here. This is plus 10, this is 24. This is not enough.
5 mana still available for Lumi, but not going to be anything in hand.
This is massive for him.
Arcane Assault is close. It'll add a little bit more damage here, but not going to be enough to take this tower just yet. Drow could be blinked out, maybe help out in a different lane. Lane 2, Gust will be available if she blinks it out. And you can blink out and still play Arcane Assault to keep initiative for lane 2 as well.
I think he could try to blink to push damage here, but he has no way. He has no answer in hand to enable him to actually get lethal on this third. Because if he could lethal this third tower, then he wouldn't have to rush down the Ancient, and he could potentially win this game. If he could take down this tower, he could just kill down this one, but he just does.
I think the blink lane 2 is going to be more important.
Yeah.
You can Gust, you can stop the Luna from doing anything this turn as well, stop from taking that tower possibly.
No, but he's not. He's going to stay there. He's going to stay there.
And Melo keeps initiative.
Melo does have Annihilation, though. Melo does have Annihilation.
Do you? And Lumi, yeah.
I mean, you go for it. You force Annihilation here. You force Annihilation. The thing is, Lumi has another Annihilation, and he has Arcane Assault.
And there's not enough mana for the Arcane Assault. Obviously
the
Ogre manages that as well. And Treant can't play Arcane Assault, so initiative is going to be in Melo's favor for the possibly last turn of the game.
But the problem is, if Lumi Arcane's Assault on this lane, he can prevent a Bolt of Damocles on the second lane with a consecutive Annihilation right there. And I'm not sure how Melo can stop that. He's not bound by Hourglass this turn, so whatever he draws, he can use. And he needs, yes, he needs to deny this play here. He needs to either not die on this. This is very dangerous. This is very dangerous for Melo. That Arcane Assault could mean everything if he does not Eclipse. Can he Eclipse? He could. Can he potentially? Oh, this is really tough. Thunder God's Wrath does wipe out Zeus, but Lumi could preserve initiative on that lane. But Thunder God's Wrath would prevent.
He could play both Thunder God's Wrath or he can just play Annihilation.
He's just gonna annihilate there. Okay.
He's putting Lumi on Annihilation. If Lumi does not have Annihilation, the Melo just wins the game.
Exactly.
Because he just plays Bolt and he just wins. There's nothing he can do about it.
Yeah, Lumi has to annihilate here. He has to.
And then all this does is just stall the game one more turn.
Yeah.
This is just both players stalling out both lanes that they have to win.
But there's
it
no...
gives a chance for Lumi to take that third tower and forget about that necessary win condition and now just focus on the 8 HP on lane 1.
Well, can he take this first tower? I don't think he can.
Is it not enough damage? So
no, he can. So basically, if he annihilates here, Lumi loses initiative, which means that all Melo has to do, because Melo's not going to go down on that third lane, because of the Hourglass preventing this emissary from being played. So all Melo has to do, as he goes for the Obliterating Orb, MVP,
great value
right there. All Melo has to do is deploy Luna onto lane 2.
That's all.
And he's guaranteed victory.
He wins.
He's guaranteed victory here. We're going to see a Bolt, a sexy AF Bolt.
Wait a minute though. Nah, never mind. There could be a Blink Dagger from Ogre Magi from lane 1 to 2, but still initiative would be in favor of Melo.
Initiative is everything.
And even if Arcane Assault is played, once a Blink Dagger blinks you away, it still takes it back.
Immediately. Fastest deployment ever in Artifact. Luna onto that second lane. Bolt of Damocles is going to close out this second game. And that has to feel good. I'm happy. This is all I want to see. I want to see both of Damocles win a official
although there is a chance for Incarnation and Thunder God's Wrath with multicast to kill the Luna in lane 2.
But there is
no. Never mind. I'm trying to hype it up, my way, but it's not possible.
No, you're freaking me out. That's what you're doing. You're
the
just
Hourglass is available as well, so even if it was drawn from the Foresight or any kind of card draw or cycling, it still wouldn't be available. So initiative here, but again, Blink Dagger will give it back to Melo.
How about that unbiased casting here? Hope you guys appreciate it. Totally unbiased professional casting here.
Lumi going through emotions, but nothing he can do to save this one.
Here we go, the Wrath of Salamene. Both of Damocles follow win, and we're going to a game 3. What a series. I am loving this. To game number 3, we're going to see Melo on the downside here and Lumi upwards. Luna versus Ogre Magi, lane 1. We have Kana in lane 2 for Lumi, as Zeus is here, and Treant Protector on the third lane in front of Ogre Magi.
A great late game hand for Melo, but maybe not the best early game hand. Only Cunning Plan available, whereas last game he had cards like Ignite, for example, that Lumi does have this turn. So right away, Ignite not going to get the value this turn, but Lumi indicating that he thinks that this lane is going to be the most important lane to get the damage early on. And it kind of says, you know, you want to deploy your Kana in lane 1 because normally it's a better option, but you're going to be deploying straight into the Ignite, so maybe not the best idea. Making Melo double think is a decision.
Melo not opting to go for the... That's interesting. He could have gone for the Cunning Plan there to get a bit of damage going on onto Kana right there, but he opts to preserve it in hand, perhaps wanting to use it onto another one of his heroes to save it from getting knocked out, as we do see Lumi deploy Drow Ranger to the first lane, and Kana is going to go onto that lane 1 regardless. It's one of the things about Kana, or not.
Maybe Lumi is making Melo switch his mind about his decisions, and that's the power of Ignite in lane 1 against Kana. But maybe Melo's back to it.
You know what's interesting though? Lumi did not opt to go for Honored Secrets, and I believe the reason he did do that is because he wants to see first where Kana goes. Honored Secrets, even though it's a 3-mana card, I really, really like the idea of playing it turn 2. Because now, knowing where Kana goes, it makes the Honored Seeker's decision-making very easy here, as we see a Conflagration being drawn. This card was really strong.
You mentioned it. Game 1, he didn't draw it. Game 2, he did. And maybe it's not the reason that Melo won, but I think it was big in helping him out in the mid-game, especially.
It slowed him down a lot. It made it so that Lumi had to redeploy his Kana, basically, because Kana can't really prevail in a lane with Conflagration. It does enable the Prey on the Weak, but it it also, you know, makes it so that it slows it down. And this
the
D-portal,
multicast from Ogre Magi as well
powerful.
is huge. Dimensional
That's
Portal,
powerful.
one of the highest rated cards in the game, just for the value it provides for 4 mana. It's so little. And getting the multicast, able to play in 2 lanes, widen the board, and really just take control of 2 lanes and the curve onto Zeus.
Yeah, he needs the Cunning Plan here. Cunning Plan will save Zeus, as you can swap positions with the Melo creep onto its right. But this is looking rough for Melo. Melo has a bit too much of a high curve here. He needs to survive. He's getting quite overwhelmed. At any cost is a card that why is he not playing this Cunning Plan? I don't know. Does he want to save? Okay, I guess he wants to save Ogre Magi here.
Ooh,
Double conflagration,
that is massive. That
That's
can completely shut down a lane.
Yeah, I guess he really wanted to get out of that lane, but this is a strong start for Lumi.
And now having only blue plays from that first lane and maybe a second lane is going to really slow him down as well a lot. Not being able to use the mana from the 3rd lane that's going to be unoccupied this turn because only Crystal Maiden will come down into one of the lanes, empty lanes. That might hurt him. I mean, it's going to slow him down even more in the mid game. He can play 2 conflagrations this turn, but not much else. And
yeah, he's getting very pressured
it's just a very slow early game for Melo.
Lumi has run out a bit of steam here as he was forced to play the Roseleaf Druid to finish off the Ogre Magi instead of the Unearthed Secrets, which means that his hand is running low on potential, but he does have Diabolic Revelation into Prey on the Weak to just obliterate this second lane. So it's going to be interesting because these conflagrations are really strong, but they may be a bit too slow here. Melo also has to keep track of how much gold Lumi spends, because Obliterating Orb could be and could punish an Agony Sanctum play. So we see him not go for the Agony Sanctum and instead going for the Conflagration immediately here.
Maybe being scared of that Obliterating Orb, like you said, gold was spent. Instead playing Conflagration first to guarantee it gets value going into that turn 2 action phase, and then playing the Sanctum in lane 2 to get the second Conflagration online as well.
Yeah, this Conflagration will prevent an Asian kill on this lane, but at the same time,
it might be too late.
It won't stop that tower from going down. It's actually going to help it. It's actually going to enable him to just go for a Prey of the Weak if he wants to and just easily get a kill there, since Drought is still on the board and he's 1 mana away from being able to play Conflagration. So this is rough. This is definitely rough for Melo. He's going to lose his tower really early on, and he's going to opt to go for the...
That's very interesting.
That's playing around Obliterating Orb, I guess, but he does, if you keep track of how much gold
you're losing so much value in the Conflagration next turn, though. I mean, you're going to have to play it from lane 1 instead and not getting that value from the action phase.
Easy kill on this lane here for Melo. He's going to lose his board pretty much to that Conflagration, but now all he needs to do is take down another tower, and this lane is completely abandoned as of now. We do see a strong deployment here, phase here for Melo, but oh my god. Oh, that's nasty.
This is looking like an Annihilation lane. Pretty easily. No Gust in hand yet for Lumi to stop that next turn. So I believe 1 blue hero at least will go to lane 3.
For sure.
And we'll probably see 2 blue heroes in lane 1. But not playing Conflagration this last turn is going to lose so much. 2 creeps would have died there. And would have put units so much lower in lane 1.
Yeah, he definitely... Okay, so he does have Arcane Assault, which means that he can retain initiative. One of the things about Lumi here is that he's running out of steam. He's really running out of steam. He's actually very low on cards. So you have to annihilate this lane.
Now, the Gust here would be huge. And Melo does not know if Lumi has Gust or not. He might have to play this whole turn playing just for initiative, just to make sure he has
he has Arcane Assault. Like, if he truly needs initiative, he can just resort to this. So that's fine for him. The thing is, Conflagration will clear out most of this board, so the threat of the Ancient is not too strong.
You can forget about it. That Conflagration is going to do its own job and kind of play as a hero for you in that lane. And now just focus on lane 1 and lane 3. 2 Arcane Assaults and the Annihilation.
Man,
this is great for stalling out for
that
Melo.
stars aligned though. How many charges? 5 charges, still not enough. I think you definitely go for the The problem is if you go for the Conflagration here, you cannot stop a stars align into Emissary of the Core.
You could do Conflagration and Annihilation. Just you kill 3 of your own heroes, sure, but you do stall out, and there's no redeployments.
No, but you need. Yeah, that's true. He could opt to do
that. You double annihilate, just keep stalling the game out with Conflagrations to get full value every turn, and then slowly start reaching that bolt range and trying to get a tower kill that way. Eclipse instead comes down. Not enough. Clears some creeps, but both heroes still alive.
But he can block it again. He can recharge this, and he can try to go for it again. Like this stops him from Okay, yeah, you recharge here, and you can potentially, if he goes for Stars Align, he's just gonna pass there. Okay, just gonna go for another Eclipse there. And close to wiping out his board.
Emissary can still come down.
Double Eclipse here, really strong for Lumi. No threat of Annihilation incoming next turn. And there's the pass. He does have double Arcane Assault, so he can retain initiative on this lane after this conflagration wipes out this board. This is really strong for Melo.
And let's not undervalue the amount of gold that Melo is gaining thanks to conflagration. Basically, Lumi is feeding Melo gold, and that gold can be turned into an Hourglass later on. So,
threatening the Annihilation, but he does not have it in hand. He does not have it in hand, which means Lumi is at the mercy of his draws. He does have, like, he can't even Stars Align next turn.
And this conflagration is going to look great, probably
you need to annihilate this lane.
Oh no, definitely. That's 100% for sure.
You have to let Crystal Maiden go down here. You preserve the Arcane Assaults for when you actually need them. You don't need to waste it here, and you annihilate this board.
And of course, Lumi could have had Gust, so conflagration was not played from lane 2. Annihilate will stop this lane, will stop the Emissary as well.
Look at all that gold from him, though. He's definitely going to be able to get those Hourglasses.
Do not undervalue the amount of gold that this deck can generate playing against an AoE deck.
Exactly, and just decks in general, like Annihilation. This deck has a big spike in gold from turn 6 onwards, and there it is. Only managed to get one Hourglass, though, but that will be enough to really shut down Lumi here. Lumi has had a very aggressive start, but he has, as I said, run out of steam. He could draw a big here, though.
This is Lumi's chance for a top tech. Next turn, there will be an Hourglass available, so not.
Oh, there's Annihilation!
And there's Annihilation.
Oh, so that is devastating.
Instantly comes down for Lumi. No thought process whatsoever. It's the easiest way to just stall this game out.
Complete board. Oh, that is so devastating for Melo here.
The creep trying to do its best, but just dies instantly. Very little fireworks this time around.
Oh man, that is tough. I think he has to deploy lane 1 and lane 3. Even though the Ancient is being threatened, he does have a conflagration set up on that lane.
But we mentioned it, leaving a lane alone with Selemene. We're getting to 8 to 9 mana. It could get scary.
He's gonna go to the second lane instead. Interesting. He's not deploying to this lane.
He could always blink. It gives him the chance to play conflagration and then blink out maybe to try and get some extra value from his.
Oh man, that top deck Annihilation was so strong for Lumi. That saved him so hard there. He has to keep on surviving. The Bolt of Damocles is in hand, but he has to stay alive here. There is a Thunder God's Wrath. He has 2 copies of it.
Would kill the Zeus.
There is no Gust here, but another Annihilation for Lumi. This game is super intense right now. Oh my god, that top deck was so strong for him, though. Lumi really switched it around here.
With the help of double conflagration in the mid lane, he could also push through damage to the tower. Maybe that'll be the Bolt tower that he ends up taking down thanks to Bolt later on. Only 1 Bolt in hand right now, but Hourglass will help in stopping Lumi's game plan. Well, actually, Hourglass was already spent last turn, and Annihilation saved that, I think. Was it spent? Hourglass is still in hand, so Hourglass is still active.
No, he didn't get a chance to play anything
because of the
last
Annihilation.
turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Did he perhaps overcommit to that first lane by deploying that last hero there? He could have played a hero on the second lane, I think. But here we see, yeah, he has to go for this. He has to go for double Thunder God's Wrath.
And the mana refresh gives enough mana to play Ignite as well, just a tiny bit more value.
Yeah, he's gonna play that Stonehall Cloak to keep the Zeus alive. So we may very well see an Ignite here. This is dangerous though. This is very dangerous. This Emissary of the Quorum will not apply much pressure here. But we could see a Stars Align onto Incarnation of Selemene. I think Melo has to keep this Annihilation open. In case Incarnation happens, he has to Annihilate back. Yeah, we see him stalling. Melo has to be very, very patient here. He can't leave himself wide open. He knows that Stars Align into Incarnation of Selemene is a possibility, and that would be game deciding here.
An Hourglass could come down, but there's no need to just yet. I think if your opponent ends up cycling without Sanctum, you're not scared of that because he's going to lose the mana and lose kind of the combo as well. So. For now, Hourglass comes down though, but that might be a mistake if Annihilation has to be played here as well.
There's a pass, very solid pass here by Melo. Lumi has the option to try to go for it.
Or if he passes as well, he kind of wastes Melo's 8 mana that's still available. Because of the respect that Melo is giving Lumi in terms of what plays he can make with Stars Align and an 8 mana, and just a huge hand that Lumi has right now.
This is threatening though, Like, the problem is he's being threatened on both sides. Okay, so if you are Melo here,
You can blink dagger.
I think you have to blink dagger to that third lane and retain initiative on the second lane here. You can play
8
cards
mana
here.
is still available though, so Emissary could come down in this lane as well with Drow.
Yeah, he's gonna go for the foresight here. There's an Aghanim Anthem. This enables him to recharge. He's gonna play that there. Okay.
And the Crystal Maiden has no hero contesting it, so it can freely do anything it wants with the mana. I think it's a very viable solution to have, that free solitaire play from Crystal Maiden in lane 2.
He blinks out.
He has a second blink still available. Could go on Crystal Maiden to stop the lane 3 as well.
Yeah, because the reason why he's doing this is because he wants to preserve the Zeus with the Hourglass. This is really high level play going on here. Blue, you cannot afford a mistake. Lumi cannot capitalize on this poor state after he has blinked out his blue hero. This is really good sequencing by Melo here. Really, really good. Preserving the hero with the Hourglass so they can set up this Annihilation on the third lane. And he has...
Arcane Assault as well to keep the initiative.
Exactly.
Incredible play from Melo here.
Yeah, incredible. Incredible setup. He has the Aghanim Anthem as well, so he can just set up I was going to say like a shit... Sorry. A lot. A lot. Keep it PG.
Mama getting a little bit too excited with this game, but it's definitely, a very, very interesting deck to see work. And Zeus is putting in another Sanctum, so even more mana refresh.
Oh my god.
And no Hourglasses to stop Melo from just drawing his deck and continuing to play his card, even without Salamene on board or in deck. Still just providing a ton of value from these Sanctums.
I just gotta say, regardless of who wins, this series was beautiful. My favorite Artifact series thus far in this tournament. Both players have been doing so well.
Conflagration comes down, which means, well, there is still another Sanctum available, so there's so much mana, I lose track of it.
You can set up an Ignite as well. Yeah, he's going to set Conflagration and Ignite to the first. Oh, my God. And we're going to see that proc, and we're going to see a Arcane Assault here to retain initiative. He should be preserving the other one just in case. Get some solid damage on this lane.
Very solid damage.
And that Annihilation is going to deny the kill on this lane, but he's still vulnerable in the first one, though.
And 3 hero kills is massive without any kind of rapid deployment going on. Only Kana available as a blue hero for this next turn, and you kind of have to decide, where do I place this Kana?
Oh my god, the Hourglass here. The Hourglass is, again, so powerful. But the problem is Melo's still threatened. He is low on these 2 towers. He's 1 turn away from being able to cast both of the Moclays here. So he could try to get that setup, try to get the lethal on this lane.
Even without Bolt, I think he has. The Zeus lane is going to go down. Especially with 2 Sanctum as well. It's just huge amount of power. And now, Lumi has Incarnation this turn.
Wait. He's over. Isn't he over committing a little bit to this lane? Again, Annihilation could be threatening. Why not send the Ogre Magi, or I would say Ogre Magi, to the third lane, because you want the proc from Luna, but he goes with Luna instead. Yeah, this is better. Otherwise it's way too risky to do that, because he could just annihilate him and then get a triple hero deployment on this lane, and that would be devastating for him.
Now the draw's here for Melo. He can draw into another Annihilation. He does do exactly that. That is huge. First of all, what great draws there.
Another Bolt with Aghanim Anthem here.
That is massive.
Oh my god, this game is ridiculous.
And Annihilation allows him to pull the trigger if Salamene comes down. He can shut it down completely, and these 2 heroes as well.
There's no Gust for Lumi. Again, Gust is a lot of times the deciding factor in this game. The second Hourglass goes down, shutting down Lumi really well. The massive gold game from Melo coming in clutch here.
And I mean, he has even too many items. 2 Stonehawk Cloaks still in hand. Kana at 19 HP already, and Lumi.
And he managed to play that before the play. Down goes the Thunder God's Wrath, denying the green hero right there.
And no need for even, maybe, you don't even have to play Annihilation at this point.
No, you don't. You stabilized here. His opponent could annihilate back, actually. Yeah, he does.
Exactly that. And you keep the Annihilation for a turn where you might need it as Melo.
And you have the initiative proc, boy, which is so important here.
Prey on the Weak here, not going to do too much for Melo. Melo's just going to pass. He has the initiative anyway.
Yeah.
You're going to let that tower slowly take itself. Luna, and on this hand, again, you don't really want to waste the Arcane Assault. That's a tool that may win you the game later on. You already have initiative. You don't need to waste another, card to get it back.
He's run through his entire item shop. That's hilarious.
This is a new gold generation deck. Stop playing Payday decks. Just play Mono Blue.
Who needs Payday? Obviously, you always send Crystal Maiden over here. Will he overcommit? He's overcommitting! Or not? Or yes or no? Is he? That would be devastating. He's not. Okay, smart play there by Lumi. Smart play there by him.
And now this could be an Annihilation lane 1. There is only 1 Sanctum. 2 bolts available. There is no Sanctum in lane 3 though, so Luna cannot, single-handedly take down that lane 3 by herself with double bolt.
I think you have to annihilate here though, right? It's too risky, especially considering you're at the mercy of a, yeah, you gotta annihilate here. Stalling this lane. The fact that he deployed the Ogre Magi onto the second lane leaves him unthreatened from the third. And there is a Bolt of Damocles. If there is any way, the problem is Aghating Sanctum is in the wrong lane here.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, that's because he can't really push this tower.
If there was a Sanctum in lane 3, then Luna could easily just single-handedly take down the tower from 37 to 0 in just one turn with double bolt, but not the case here.
He's going to draw 2 cards. Into an Eclipse.
Eclipse is great. And there's the Hourglass.
Your Eclipse here.
Yep.
Your Eclipse here. Beautiful wipe. Wait, what can he... How can he do this? He has to... I think you just blink to the first lane here. Well, no. You need the lethal.
You need the lethal.
You need the lethal, and you can't do that if you blink. This is such a tough decision to make here. Obviously, you keep on playing. Okay, I like this play, denying the card draw there. So he's not going to blink. He doesn't.
And he has blinks in hand as well, so if he needs a blink later, he can just re-equip it. And really, the items aren't a problem for Melo right now.
Okay, so he's got a total of 10 damage. Prey on the Weak would be lethal on this lane and would enable him to Town Portal Scroll, for example, out of here. How many nationals has Luminous? He's played 2 Annihilations, right? Like, both players have played a lot of Annihilations. But initiative is absolutely key here. How much damage does he's not been able to push this tower enough.
If there's a Gust from Lumi next turn.
Yeah, you definitely set up the Ignite here. This is so strong. This enables Thunder God's Wrath to potentially just wipe out the board quite easily, even though there's a lot of health items on those units there. This is such an intense moment here.
If only the Sanctum was on that lane 3, it could be game winning. If Melo can stall somehow for one more turn on lane 1, I think he can get the kill lane 3. Do you use a Bolt in Luna's lane right now? You give up initiative though.
You give up initiative. I don't think you do. Yeah, I like this play from Melo. Blinking to the first lane, getting exact lethal with this Prey on the Weak. And then we're going to probably see an Arcane Assault going to go down here.
And now mobility is everything because...
Or do you go for... If you Bolt with Damocles, you put this on a 2-turn timer.
That's exactly what I was mentioning. But you lose the initiative because you don't have a Sanctum here.
No, he's going to go for that.
Instead he goes for initiative. Now, is there a Gust in hand for Lumi? There is not.
There is. No, there is. It's going to get unlocked, right? Yeah, there's one Gust
that was hiding there. So Gust is going to be massive. I mean, Gust can stop. But again, Lumi, he has taken down the middle tower, actually. So
wait. This is very dangerous, actually.
There's no Annihilations left, I think, for Melo. I think he used all of them already.
There's Gust and Stars Align. Wait, this could be game-winning for...
This might just be it. There's still no Sanctum, though. But it will be enough, I think, with Gust.
He has Incarnation of Salamene.
And Sanctum's in hand.
He does also have... yes. Does he have a Prey on the Weak? He does have a Prey on the Weak, too. Oh, my lord.
No Eclipse either for Melo, so can't take down the Drow. But 2 bolts, the Gust will come down, though. And the Gust will stop any kind of bolts coming from Melo in this case.
I think you actually... you made Dimensional Portal here. Oh my god, he could get the kill here, though. Lumi could actually get the kill on this lane. The fact that he used Annihilation that prior turn here. That Gust. He's going to go... Oh, no. He's going to get Gusted here. Yeah, he's going to get Gusted. Oh, this is over. Oh, he's barely going to miss out. This Stars Align into Salamene's... Oh my god, this is going to be over here. He's going to be able to cast the Prey on the Weak into double Emissary of the Quorum, and that will easily... Oh, wow, the turnaround here for Lumi. This match has been insane.
And the Gust draw is going to win the game for Lumi, I believe.
Yeah.
Braces of Sacrifice in hand for Melo, but again, because his heroes are silenced, he cannot use that ability.
Yeah, Emissary of the Quorum. 2 Emissaries of the Quorum. Oh, my lord. Oh, so close to victory, yet so far this second Emissary will seal the deal for Lumi. And that is going to be a crazy comeback game. One of the craziest matches I've casted throughout this tournament, honestly. This has been absolutely nuts. But Lumi with the comeback victory, barely getting that win onto Melo. Oh, my God. I'm going to have...